Hi all, welcome to the new chapter, that is Parliament. You might have heard about the word Parliament, correct? So you know it as a building. Today we are going to discuss about not just the building. We'll understand what is the concept behind the Parliament, what actually it is. It is not just a place where the representatives will sit. It is the place where the laws are made. Okay, so we'll understand what is Parliament, how it functions, correct? How the people are getting elected over there. What are the different key functionaries present there? What is the duration and how it functions? What are the responsibilities? Correct? So many questions are there in your mind. So we'll try to answer each and every question. We'll study in detail, right? So the Parliament of India, from the exam point of view, also very important topic. Okay, so we all know that it's a legislative organ of union government, because we know that the legislative organ for the state also is present. Fine. This Parliament chapter, the Parliament chapter, we are going to study in the part fifth, and from article 79 to 122. So in part fifth, there are other topics also, correct? Like even president is part of it, prime minister, council of minister. But from the perspective of parliament, we are going to study from 79 to 122 article. This parliament, okay, occupies a preeminent and central position in Indian democratic political system. Why? Because in a Indian democratical system, people are powerful. That is, we all know that it is based upon the principle of popular sovereignty. Correct? So people should be given the importance. That is why in the parliament, the elected representatives are going to sit and function. Okay, that's why we say that it occupies a central position in our democratical system. Correct? And as I said, we are not going to discuss about a building, but it is about a system. That is, we have adopted parliamentary form of government, also known as Westminster model of government. Correct? The parliamentary form of government we have understood in the previous classes. Correct? Where the executive is responsible to legislature. That is the core of parliamentary system. That is, executive is responsible to legislature. The reason is the legislatures are directly elected by the people. In order to give respect to that executive is responsible to legislature. That is the parliamentary form of government. Fine. So we are going to deal with the organization, the composition, and the duration, and also about officers like speaker, deputy speaker, chairman, right? Procedures need to be followed in that house or in the parliament. The privileges to the members of parliament, correct? Special privileges are there, and also the powers of the parliament. So all these things we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter. The first thing, the organization of parliament. Organization of parliament. So what all is there? What all is there in the parliament? Correct. So if you see, so you might have been watching, right? Lok Sabha sir, is there, sir, and Rajya Sabha is there, sir. Correct. So if the question is asked, who are all part of parliament or what parliament consists of, the answer is not just Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but it is also the president. It is also known as the president in parliament system. So president, council of state, that is nothing but the upper house Rajya Sabha, and the house of the people, nothing but the lower house or Lok Sabha. Correct? So together these three, we can say that it is parliament. Please remember that Okay, so that it consists of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and also the president. Okay, here you can have a look at this question. The Indian Parliament consists of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, it appears correct. Okay, it consists correct, but not appropriate answer. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and Prime Minister. Oh, sorry. Speaker and Lok Sabha. See, no doubt it consists of speaker, but president and both houses are more appropriate answer. See, we cannot deny that this is wrong or this is wrong. But appropriate answer is president and both the houses. In both the houses, correct, speaker is also there. Okay, prime minister also will be there, but not by virtue of prime minister, but by virtue of a member. So more appropriate answer is president and both the houses. Okay, fine. Next question comes to your mind. Sir, why president is an integral part of this parliament? Even though he is not a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, correct? President of India is not a member of either of House of the Parliament. He is not a member. But still, he is integral part of Parliament. Definitely that question comes to your mind. Okay. So, we'll answer that. From the point of like technical point of view and also conceptual point of view. We'll answer that. From the technical point of view, we'll understand. You all know that like any bill means just a list of provisions. So once it is signed by the president, then it becomes the act. So without his sign, it cannot become a law. That is why parliament means what we say, it's a lawmaking body. So without him, it is not going to become a law means. So that's why he is an integral part of the parliament. And second technical reason is he performs certain functions. Okay, like what is required to for the functioning of the parliament, he will make some rules or functions. For example, so he summons the house, like call for the session, please come and start your business, or end it, prorogue, or dissolve the government itself, completely end that 5-year term or whatever it is. Okay, so sometimes in case of like both the houses are not there, he himself makes a temporary law, that is issuing ordinance. See, this is conceptual reason, correct? He himself is making a law, but for temporary period. So we want to consider him as an integral part because of this reason. Okay, please try to answer this question. Which of the following are stated in the Constitution of India? Okay, the president shall not be a member of either house of the parliament. Okay, that is correct. The parliament shall consist of president and two houses. The parliament shall consist of the president and two houses. That is correct. So he is not a member of either house of parliament. That is also correct, and this is also correct. So answer is both 1 and 2. See, in our mindset, always will be like 1 only, 2 only, 3, both 1 and 2, neither 1 and 2. Here, both 1 and 2 is given second option. You should be careful whenever such questions are asked. Okay. So, now we'll understand the composition of the two houses. The composition of the present composition may be like 240, it may be 245, 244, whatever. But what is the maximum strength allowed is important. That is 250. Why the present strength varies? Because there are different reasons. Okay, different reasons we'll understand. The simple reasons like a person might be like because of death, a position may be less. But we'll understand that maximum strength is 250. Fine. So out of this 250, the 238. So 238 people are from states and union territories. Okay. And 12 members are nominated. 12 members are nominated by the president. Please understand here. We'll discuss that in detail. 238 plus 12. Fine. And where we are going to discuss about this thing, I think you remember we have discussed the schedules. That is, the fourth schedule of our constitution deals with the allocation of the seats in Rajya Sabha for states as well as for the union territories. Okay. So now we'll understand. Like always, please try to organize the things. Now we are talking about composition of Rajya Sabha. That is 238 people from states and union territories and 12 from nominated members. So that we'll understand. From the states, correct? From all the states of India, how the people are, that is the Rajya Sabha members are getting elected. Okay. So we know that in Rajya Sabha, indirect election is followed. Okay, that is elected by the elected members of the state legislative assemblies. That is elected by elected members. These elected members that we are going to vote and elect them, right? MLAs. So elected by elected members. That's why we are following indirect election here. And what is the method used? Method used proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Proportional representation. Okay. So what is this proportional representation? For example, in a group, for example, assume that there are 3 groups, or you can say 3 states, 100 and 10, and from another state 1000. Proportional. Assume that for every 10 member, 1 person should be there. So from this state, 1 person will come. From this state, 10 persons will come. From this state, 100 persons will come. In another state, 50 means 5 persons will come. Like proportionate. Based upon their number, the means whole population, the same ratio is maintained. Okay. Anyway, proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Because a MLA may be representing 5 lakh people in his constituency, another person may be representing 6 lakh or 10 lakh population in his constituency. So here that person is going to vote, right? That single transferable vote, that single person is transferring the plural votes. Okay, that's MLA. A MLA is different from another MLA. Okay, so that is how single transferable vote. Anyway, we are using the proportional representation system. This proportional representation system is used in India. Okay, say we all know that one is indirect election, another is direct election. So in the direct election, directly people are going to vote for the representatives. In the indirect elections, that is elected by the elected people. So this indirect election means almost in India we are using the proportional representation system. Okay, this proportional representation system, that is indirect mode of election, is used in a very limited cases. So it's better to remember them, right? So one is here in the election of Rajya Sabha members. Similarly, in the state, wherever that state legislative councils are there, you all know that in all the states, state legislative councils are not there, correct? So the state legislative councils are there. There also indirect election. Second thing, and in the president election, indirect election is used. Vice president election, indirect election is used, and parliamentary committees. Anyway, we are going to study all these things, but you remember in only these 5, only in case of these 5 elections, indirect election is followed. In remaining all, it is direct election. See, collectively studying is very important. You should not isolate, okay, I am studying here, I am studying. It becomes very difficult. You need to put together and study. Then it becomes very powerful. Fine. Okay. So we are telling that. So one is indirect election. The method used is proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Okay. How the seats are allocated to each state? How it is allocated? That is on the basis of population. On the basis of population. Okay. That's why the number of people from each state in Rajya Sabha is different. If you take the example of Uttar Pradesh, because of its huge size, huge population, 31 members are there. But if you take the Tripura, it is just having only one member in Rajya Sabha. So I hope you have understood. The states are represented indirectly through proportional representation system and on the basis of the population. On the basis of the population, that is proportional representation. Okay. And now we'll understand union territories. We have understood states. And in union territories, what happens? See, here also indirectly elected, no doubt about it, but by the members of electoral college specially constituted for the purpose. So why it is not directly mentioned, like simply indirectly elected by the elected people? The reason is, in the union territories, okay, in all union territories, we cannot find the MLAs. That is, if state legislative assembly is there, then MLAs will come. Correct. That is the reason in those states, okay, fine, indirectly elected. But in other union territories, okay, we need to have a electoral college separately constituted for the purpose. Fine. Anyway, the same method, no doubt about it. Rajya Sabha election is always proportional representation by means of STV. And out of 9 union territories, why? You all know that. So Jammu and Kashmir was earlier a state. Now it is Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are the 2 union territories. So out of 9 union territories, only now we can say that, right? Because Delhi and Puducherry is having a state legislative assembly, and Jammu and J&K may continue the same thing. Anyway, so out of 9, all are not having the state legislative assemblies. That's why the indirect election mode is different. And also with respect to representation, see, all union territories are not represented in the Rajya Sabha. Please remember this. All states are represented in Rajya Sabha, correct. All union territories are not represented. This will be asked in the exam. Okay. Why? The reason is the population of the remaining, actually 6 union territories is very small. Okay. That is why, so they are not represented. I hope you got the answer earlier. Why the strength is not full? Strength is not full. The reason is this one. Okay. So population is less, so no representation. Proportionate representation is not possible. In case future, if the population increases, then the seats will be allocated easily. Okay. Now the third thing, states over union territories, nominated members. So we said that 12 members are nominated to Rajya Sabha from those who are having the special knowledge or the practical experience in art, literature, science and social service. So you can remember like literature, art, science and social service. Okay. So you all know that Sachin Tendulkar was nominated to Rajya Sabha. So on what ground he was nominated? He was not like from the field of art or literature or science and social service. So sports is not the criteria. Sometimes they will mislead you. They will also ask sports. See, that category is not there. Then, so he was nominated in the category of social service. So you have to remember, they will confuse you. So if you are clear, okay, these are the only fields. So if you are not studying and remembering these important points very well, definitely it will confuse your mind. Oh, it may be there, I have not forgotten. It may be there, sir has not told us. Not like that. Okay. So remember LASS. Okay. Fine. Why it is like that? Why nominations? Why nominations? The reason is they are not like other leaders, means who can contest for election and win the seats, right? Win that election. Because, for example, they may be from science background, they are not popular, but they have expertise. We need experts, right, for lawmaking. Without the words of experts, okay, how a law will be perfect? Sir, there are parliamentary committees. Fine, but as a representatives, correct? Those who are directly participate in the lawmaking, so should have some expertise. That is the purpose of this nomination. Okay, that is eminent persons should be there in the Rajya Sabha without going through the process of election. So now we have understood how Rajya Sabha is represented by states, but union territories are not completely represented. It is there but not completely, and the nominated members and their purpose. How many members are nominated? Yes, without doubt it is 12. Okay. Now we'll understand the composition of Lok Sabha. So the present strength maybe 543, okay, 545, but what is important for us is 552 is the maximum strength. Again the question comes. So why the present strength is less? Present strength is less. In the previous Rajya Sabha question, the same question when I asked, the reason is some union territories are not represented. How about Lok Sabha? Can you give the same answer? No, you cannot give the same answer. Why? Reason is however small it is, it cannot be unrepresented in Lok Sabha. That because we are following democracy. For assume that in a particular union territory, very less population is there. Okay, worst case, even if it is 10 people are there. Okay, so you cannot say that okay, only 10 people are there, we leave it. No, they must be given a chance to select their representative. That is the essence of democracy. So whether it is a one person or 10 or lakh, at least one should be represented. Okay, but still why it is not full? The reason is it may be small, but at least it is having one. But in future the population may increase, correct? So we have kept some seats, reserved some seats for them, right? That is why some seats are reserved for union territories. That is why the maximum strength is 552 and the present strength is less than that. But you cannot say like Rajya Sabha scenario that some union territories are not represented in Rajya Sabha, but here all union territories are represented in Lok Sabha, but still some seats are reserved for them for the future use. That is, out of this, the states are represented through 530 members and union territories are through 20 members. So this is the less, 530 is full and here it is like 13. Okay, so that is why the strength is. And another scenario, so what is this 2? Earlier one provision was there to nominate 2 members. Now that provision is deleted with the 104th Amendment Act. 104th Amendment Act. So earlier Anglo-Indian community if president feels that they are not adequately represented, should be given a chance. So 2 members, and in the state also 1 member used to be nominated. Now that is deleted. Okay, so it is not followed from the second term of the present government. Okay, in 2019, so this is discontinued. Fine. And okay, now again we'll understand that from the states, from the union territories, and from the nominated members. So we know that it is directly elected by the people from the territorial constituencies in the states. Okay, directly elected. We all vote directly, right, for our MPs and MLAs from the territorial constituencies. So we have constituencies. So for example, if you ask a person, he will say that I am from Hassan constituency. Another person say that I am from Davangere constituency. So what we have, the district concept, almost the territorial constituency obeys the same, but not exactly the same. It is not exactly same. Okay, we'll understand why it is like that. Anyway, and the election is based upon the universal adult franchise. That is, in India, adult means 18. So one who is having the age above 18 can register himself as a voter and can participate in the election. What is the method used? Fine. This 18 years concept is fine. And earlier actually it was 21 years. Earlier the right to vote was 21 years. But it is reduced to 18 years in 61st constitutional amendment. So now it is 18 after 61st constitutional amendment of 1988. It happened during the Rajiv Gandhi government period. Okay. So please understand, a person can vote, means choose his representative when he is an adult, that is above 18. So what is the marriage age? You know that it is 21 and 18. Okay, so a male can choose his representative. He can rule his nation, means he can select the government what he wants at the age of 18, but he cannot select his spouse at the age of 18. That means man lacks maturity, right? Okay, keep the fun apart. Please understand that the age, voting age was reduced. Fine. So what is the method used? There we know that proportional representation. Okay. So here it is used as territorial representation. Territorial representation. Okay. Please remember that. Okay. Next is, it's about states. And union territories. The union territories are also directly, means sending the representatives directly elected. But the difference is it is not directly mentioned in the constitution. Okay, the parliament is having that power. How the representative should be directly elected from union territories. We are sure that it is directly elected because Lok Sabha means directly elected people, no doubt about it. Okay, but the Union Territories Act, that is Direct Election to the House of People Act 1965, provides that they must be chosen by the direct election. Difference you please understand. That is fixed from the states. From Union Territories, it is having the parliament is deciding about that. And with respect to nominated members, I already mentioned that. Okay, through 104th constitutional amendment of 2019, okay, has changed that, and now the nominated members is no more represented in our parliament. Fine. Okay. Now we'll understand the system of elections to Lok Sabha. So this we will cover in our next session. Okay. So please understand and revise. See, there is no problem in mugging up of the things. By hearting things is not an issue. Okay, but you need to understand the concepts. Conceptual clarity should be very important. Conceptual clarity, very, very important. Fine. So please revise, revise, revise. That is the only mantra for your success. Okay. Keep calm, sleep well, and study well. Thank you.